Dear students, today we are going to study some relevant terms while preparing income and expenditure account. There are almost 8 types of items to be looked into. They are subscription, special subscription, entrance fees, donations, special donations, legacy, life membership, sale of old items, sale of old assets, income from a particular fund, and guest fees. These 8 items may be looked into while preparing income and expenditure account. The first item is subscription. Subscription means when a person is admitted to a non-trading concern, such person is required to pay subscription. That subscription amount is annual in nature. That is, on every year, that particular person may pay subscription fees. Therefore, this subscription fees is of a recurring nature, and therefore the same should be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. So all subscription amount received by the organization or the non-trading concern from its members may be shown on the credit side of income and expenditure account, namely on income side as subscription. And there is one more subscription, that is special subscription. Special subscription is paid for a special purpose. Until that special purpose is met, that same should not be used for any other thing. Therefore, the amount so received as special subscription may be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. That means special subscription should not be shown as income of that non-trading concern. So the difference between subscription and a special subscription is, the subscription is used for the amount received as subscription is used for the daily functioning of that particular concern, but in the case of special subscription, that subscription amount so received as special subscription may be used only for the purpose mentioned. Therefore, until that purpose is met, the amount so received as special subscription may be shown in the liability side of the balance sheet. And the second one is entrance fees. Usually, a non-trading concern gets entrance fees along with the subscription. So entrance fees is therefore treated as a revenue item, and the same should be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. But if that particular non-trading concern does not admit members on yearly basis, then such entrance fees may not be treated as a revenue item. That is, the same should be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. If that particular organization, if that particular non-trading concern admits persons yearly or regularly, the amount collected as entrance fees along with the subscription fees may be treated as income, and the same may be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. But if that non-trading concern does not admit persons as members regularly or on yearly basis, then the amount collected as the entrance fees may not be shown as income. Therefore, entrance fees will not be shown on the credit side of income and expenditure account, that is income side of income and expenditure account. Instead, that amount may be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. Next is donations. In donations also there are two types, that is, one is general donation and the other is a special donation. As far as donation or donation without any tag is concerned, the amount received as donation may be treated as revenue. That amount, that is the donation amount, may be shown as income on the credit side of income and expenditure account. But if that particular concern, if that particular non-trading concern receives a special donation, the same should be treated as capital and be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. And so the amount of special donation, and so the amount of special donation should not be treated as income. Therefore, it should not appear on the income side of income and expenditure account. And the fourth one is legacy. Legacy, it is the amount received by a non-trading concern by the will of a deceased person. That means when a person dies, a certain amount is donated by or given by that particular deceased person as legacy on the basis of his or her will, and the same should not be treated as a revenue item, and the amount received as legacy should be treated as capital item, and therefore it should be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. But if the amount so arrived as legacy is a small one, the same should be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. So if the amount of legacy is big and the huge amount is received as a legacy, then that amount may be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. If the amount received as legacy is small, then that amount may be shown as income, and the same should be posted on the income side of income and expenditure account, that is credit side of income and expenditure account. And the next is life membership. Life membership is collected by the non-trading concern from the members only once in a life. That means this life membership is paid only once by a particular person. Therefore, the amount received as life membership is capital in nature, therefore should not be credited or shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. Instead, the amount received as life membership fees may be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. And the next is sale of old items. Sale of old items means sale of old current assets, we can say like that. In such cases, The amount received on the sale of old items may be treated as revenue income, and the same should be shown on the credit side of income and expenditure account as income. That means every year there will be sale of old items, especially in the case of libraries, the old newspapers, old magazines, etc., and in the case of sports clubs, old sports materials. Such a sale may be treated as income, and the same should be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. And the next is sale of old assets. The sale of old assets cannot be treated as income because there will not be any annual sale of old assets. Here old assets means old fixed assets, and therefore the amount received by from the sale of old assets may be treated as a receipt, but the amount realized cannot be treated as income. Any profit or loss on the sale of old assets, that is from the amount realized from the sale of old assets, when we deduct the book value of such old assets, if that sale gets some profit or that there is a loss, that amount of profit or loss, that is loss on sale of old assets or profit on sale of old assets, may only be shown on the income and expenditure account. If there is loss on sale of old assets, that loss on sale of old assets may be shown on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. If there is any profit on sale of old assets, such profit on sale of old assets may be shown on the credit side of income and expenditure account, that is on the income side of or right hand side of income and expenditure account. The book value of old assets sold, amount realized from the sale of old assets may be deducted from the old assets to be shown on the balance sheet. And the next is income from a particular fund. If there is any income received from a particular fund, the amount so received as income from that particular fund should not be shown on the income side of income and expenditure account. Instead, that particular income received from that particular fund may be added to that fund account and be shown on the liability side of balance sheet. And the next is guest fees. In certain non-profit organizations, namely clubs, gymkhanas, etc., the outsiders are allowed along with the members of such an organization. In such cases, the amount received from outsiders are known as guest fees, and the amount received as guest fees from outsiders for availing the facility of that club along with the members may be treated as income, and the same may be shown on the credit side of income and expenditure account or income side of income and expenditure account, that is on the right side of income and expenditure account. So these are the items, special items, that is relevant terms to be known while preparing income and expenditure account. They are subscription, special subscription, entrance fees, donations and special donations, legacy, life membership, sale of old items, sale of old assets, income from particular fund, and crest fees. These 8 items have a special effect on income and expenditure account. The same should be done judiciously. Thank you.